Hello and welcome to Pam's Equipment Review Series. We'll be reviewing an inverter. Let's get into today's testing and I'll be showing you what we are going to be testing and what it can actually do. So here are some things to expect in upcoming videos. I'll be unboxing some of these boxes and I'll be showing you some of the things that we have in there. Expect something really cool. And this is the inverter I'll be testing today. It's a 24 volt 1600 watt inverter. It's a pretty basic inverter. One of the things that excites me about it and I really want to see is what happens on the screen. So on the inverter, here are some of the things that you would actually notice. It has a pretty basic terminal right here. So once we open one of these, you can see the terminal right here. This is where you get your positive and your negative connection to the battery. It's pretty basic, but they have like this plastic protections, just basic plastic, nothing much about it. So it protects it from basically anything so that they don't touch each other in cases like that. Another thing that you will notice is that it has a fan. They say it's a 2 kVA and the power is 1600 watts. The input voltage definitely is 220 volts, so that means that with this inverter you can charge from the grid. So you can basically charge this from the grid. It has an input voltage that's from your normal grid or from generator actually. So you have your output voltage also is at 220 volts. So this basically outputs 220 volts. The DC input voltage, what is actually going to go to your battery right here is 24 volts. I'll be using this battery. So recommended charge current is 20 amps at 0.2 C. Max continuous charge current is 100 amps. It's 100 amp BMS. So if it's doing 100 amps, that's pretty good. Max continuous discharge current also is 100 amps. That's pretty awesome. We'll just charge this and we'll just use it to power the inverter so that we can do like some tests and see what it can actually do. We hooked up the battery already, so let's see if we've not done a wrong connection. And the inverter is on. Now I understand why they talked so much about the mute mode. It's very loud. So when I press the function mode down, it allows you to mute the inverter, so it doesn't give you all those warnings, like those many warnings. But that can be a good thing and also a bad thing, because I don't think I want to be hearing that sound all the time. But it can be a good thing because when there are issues, you can hear it and it will just give you that alarm so that you can know if there's something wrong and all. So are there really so much functions? Let's press the function mode. Okay, up and down. There's really nothing much. And so it's almost looking like I cannot basically do any setting of voltage, not battery voltage now, battery percentage in a sense. I don't know how much that works, so we're going to test it out to see how much it works. And on this side, it shows you what the load that you're actually pulling out is. So currently, there's no power in, so we don't have anything there. So we can actually just check that out to see if this actually works, that function works. So this is the battery percentage at 100%, and this is the load percentage. So it shows you how much you're actually pulling out of it, then like other functions. All right. Connected a 2.5 mm cable, which is appropriate for the test that I actually want to do. It's a 2-core, so it's basically going to this socket that I have here. This ceramic plate cooker, because it's way easier for me to actually see what it can do from the lowest to the highest it can actually do. So let's get testing watts. So we're going to put that on right there, so it's basically on. You can put in one of the numbers there. So we're starting basically from 100. Let's see I can feel the heat a little bit, like little by little actually coming up. Let's see what we are getting on the inverter right here. So I was thinking I was going to get like some percentage from the inverter, but I'm actually not seeing anything yet. There's nothing dropping from the battery or anything actually happening. Let's go back to the cooker to see if it's... So on the cooker, well, it doesn't really give me much heat. So let's yank it up a little bit to 200 or 400. Hot panel, do not touch. So I can still touch it because it's not very hot. All right, so but I can feel the heat coming up little by little. So at 400 watts, this actually signifies 400 watts. We are basically getting like the heat little by little. So let's see what's happening on the inverter. So on the inverter, you can see it start to climb up a little, and we've seen it drop on one of the bars on the battery right here. So we can see it climb up a little down to like around 25% of power. So let's yank it up a little bit more and let's see what this inverter is actually going to do. What's going to happen at 600 watts? Well, it's still basically heated up. Previously it was blinking at 25%, but now it's like very, very stable. Like it's like a constant 25% power on that, and we have one of the bars out from the battery right here. So let's go back and check what's happening here. So we're still on 600 watts side. So let's yank it up a little bit and let's get to 800 watts. So at 800 watts, the last time the other inverter failed, but let's see if this one can do 800 watts. So we're at 800 watts and we are still up and running. So that means that something is actually happening and it's working perfectly. I've not seen the fans kicking yet, but yes, the fans are actually spinning and it's spinning hard. So we're still running at 800 watts and it's working perfectly. We don't have any input voltage, so that's why you're seeing 000 there. It's still at 25% at 800 watts coming from the cooker, so it's working perfectly. Let's yank it up to 1000 watts. So this area is already really starting to heat up, but let's do this. At 1000 watts, it still works perfectly. It's very hot and we still have so you can actually see that it has jumped to up to 50% of actual load, and the battery has dropped another bar right there. So let's go up to 200 watts at 1200 watts. So at 1200 watts, still very hot, and we have it's still running and still at 50%. So it's still doing that same number and it's working like a bull. Actually, this is amazing to actually see. No issues because it's a pure sine wave, like I explained, working perfectly. All right, so to the next number at 1400 watts. So we're at 1400 watts. The same percentage on this side, just 2 bars dropped and it's pretty solid. Let's go to 1600 watts. Can we do 1600 watts? I don't know. Yep, 1600 watts, and this thing is still working like no man's business. This is pretty amazing. So you still have this percentage spiked a little bit up to like 80%. So I think the last bar will now be like 100%, but it's really taking a hit on the battery. And because of that, I would do the final 1800 and let's see if that's going to be too much for it. Let's go. And 1800 watts, you can actually see the red lines from this. It's pretty awesome. 1,800 watts, because actually it says 2 kVA, so I think they kind of lowered our expectation a little bit. So at 1,800 watts, this inverter is still powering it and it's still working like properly. For the last test that I did on this one, it went down at 800 watts, and for this it's actually doing 1,800 watts, and that's pretty awesome. It's taking a lot of heat on the battery though, but that's still very, very positive. Like, it's really, really positive, and we still have like 80% on the load. We've not used 100% of the entire load yet. I turned it off at 1,800 watt. It's pretty nice. Like I said, it's a pure sine wave inverter. This entire circumference is actually eating up from this side. The temperature is actually pretty high from this. We were able to get it to do 1,800 watts, and that's actually very, very positive on this inverter. So there you have it for the Saroda inverter short-term test. It really, really passed the test in flying colors. Can it, last longer? So I'm going to be keeping this up for a while, doing other tests on it, and actually see if it's it's a longer lasting inverter. So we'll just come back to it in some other video, and I'm going to be telling you if this is a really, really good inverter and it's something that you should actually really go out for. But for my own short-term test, it passed with flying colors, and I'm really, really proud of it. So that's the final test for this inverter, and I'm really, really proud. Like I said, it's pretty amazing. 1,600 watts, actually doing close to 1,800 watts in some cooking, actually. So that's pretty awesome. I didn't actually expect that. It's a pure sine wave inverter, like I said. It's pretty basic. It works perfectly, just like your grid. No issues, nothing. Might be a little bit expensive and stuff, but it's pretty awesome. For this one, it passed my short-term test, and I'm pretty excited. For more videos like this, please like and subscribe to this channel. I would love to hear from you. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.